Well, good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, the 13th of March, and it's 2 minutes after 9 in the evening. A little later than what I wanted it to be. Let me just take my headphones off. I don't need them anyway. I was listening to something on YouTube. But anyway, I hope everybody's weekend is going great so far. Tried to make my video a little earlier today, and turns out I didn't have enough space on my phone, so I have a little more space now, so I can do it here. Anyway, I tell you what happened this past week makes me proud, so proud of our new president, Joe Biden. He's sticking to his promises, and anyway, I'm glad to see that he finally signed into law after Congress passed it, to the exclusion of the Republicans, I might add, the COVID relief bill. It was passed, I believe, Wednesday. It's past Wednesday, and then the president signed it Thursday afternoon. So finally, this help is on the way. And when the Democrats say it, they mean it. Not like Trump, who doesn't, well, what can I say? That was a total mess to begin with. But yes, they passed it on the 10th of March. And basically, the plans that Joe Biden laid out for in January are still in the bill with 3 exceptions. Now, let's see if I can read my own writing here. Goodness. All I know, it says something about eligibility for stimulus checks. Oh, it narrows. Man, I can't read my own writing. But anyway, yeah, it narrows the eligibility for stimulus checks, I guess, for what people can receive it. But I think most people will be able to get it. It also, the other changes they made, it's trimming federal boost to the unemployment benefits. I know they were originally planned on $400 a week, and now it's down to $300. And we kind of know who was behind that. But if it was the rich, of course, they push to make sure they got it when they don't need it. But yeah, they trimmed the boost to the unemployment benefits, and nixing increase in the federal minimum wage was the third thing, to $15 an hour. I think at some point during the year, the Democrats are going to try to push it as a standalone bill, because it would be nice if they increase the minimum wage. Now, it'll be gradual. It doesn't have to be all at once. But it has to go up. It can't stay the way it was. I know years ago when I worked in the knitting mill, and I think it's a shame. It took me over 10 years to get $10 an hour. And my job responsibilities, what I had to do, I should have gotten more than that. Running 6 machines, sometimes 7 at a time, or at the most 5. They keep you busy. But anyway, what's in the bill? There's quite a bit of stuff, but basically, individuals are going to get $1,400, checks or automatic deposits. Families get an additional $1,400 per child. So that works out nice, because if you have a family that has 2 children in it, you figure you cover the mother and the father and the 2 children, that'd be, I think it's over $5,700 or something like that, maybe $5,600. I'm just guesstimating. I don't have it exactly written down here, but it's not a bad deal. And it's money that can go back, help to pay the bills and to go back into the economy. So that's great. You would never see the Republicans push that. They probably would have cut this down some too. The full amount goes to individuals earning less than $75,000 of adjusted gross income. Head of household, or like single parents, earning less than $112,500, and married couples earning less than $150,000. Then the payments would phase out as the income goes up. Well, I'll tell you what, I look at this, even when I was working, I'm retired now, but looking at this, I mean, $75,000, I never saw that as a salary. Now, maybe as a supervisor or something you would see that, but no, I never got. I think the most I ever made was like $25,000. But of course I live in Schuylkill County in Schuylkill Haven, PA. And they're not known for paying too well. So anyway. But, you know, individuals earning at least $80,000 a year, heads of household who earn at least $120,000, and married couples who earn at least $160,000 will be completely cut off from third round of stimulus payments, regardless of the amount of children they have. I guess you could say that's fair, though, because the more you make, you know, it used to be like that years ago, the more you make, the more they took. I don't think they do that anymore. I personally thought that was a fair deal. If you made more, you took a little more. You can pay your fair share. The Republicans don't like that, though. No. The corporations, they don't like that. The more they make, the more they want to keep. And screw the employee. If they don't have to pay you, they won't pay you. If they don't have to give you extra benefits, they won't give you extra benefits. Now, as far as the unemployment assistance, $300 federal boost to weekly jobless payments. The first $10,200 worth of benefits payments are tax-free for households with annual incomes less than $150,000. So that's good. I don't know who came up with it. It was a few years back. But it used to be a time when if you were on unemployment, you didn't have to pay taxes on it. And somebody came up with a brilliant idea that, well, hell, that's income, you should tax it. And then they started to tax it. But I remember years ago, you didn't have to report it. Or you reported it, but they didn't take anything off you. Now they tax it. It's like a conspiracy. They don't want to see you have any more money than they want you to have. So, anyway, I don't know. No wonder people say in the long haul of things, they get you coming or going. You think you might get ahead and seems like you don't, but oh well. Then they wonder why a lot of people don't want to start businesses. There's a lot involved. I tell you, I was in business for 8 months trying to get a knitting mill up and running because it's one of my passions. But I got in at a time it was bad. They passed NAFTA and they had all these other trade agreements, and eventually China got to take a lot of our textile jobs. And you can't compete with that. But anyway. So that was on the positive side there as far as helping us out with this COVID. I'll tell you, this virus has been devastating. And finally now we have at least 3 vaccines, and I'm still trying myself to get an appointment for a vaccine. I was told, I called the other day and I was told now, she said they they hired more people. So she said, well, how long did it take you to wait until I got on the line? I said, oh, it's only 30 seconds. I said, that's a start now. Now, if you can get me in so I can get my shot. She said, well, she said, we never know when they're going to send a new schedule, when they're going to have a center set up to give out the COVID shots, the vaccinations. So she said, call them once in the morning and once in the afternoon until you can get an appointment, because they never tell us when we get the schedules when the vaccines will come in. So I guess that's what I'll be doing. But I got to get it, because according to the president, by May 1st, everybody should be able to be eligible to get the vaccine. It doesn't mean they're going to get it by May 1st, but at least they can get on the list, you know. Which I asked the lady that. I said, well, is there a way they can call me? And she said, well, no. She said, you have to keep calling us. She said, for some reason, Pennsylvania is slow at it. Nah, I'm not surprised. You know? But anyway, I noticed online tonight, it said there was a subject, 2020 was a bad year for democracy. You know, they always say, and this is true, I guess it would still be true today. Years ago, all the countries of the world, basically, a lot of them looked up to the United States as a role for democracy. But of late, you know, before Biden, especially when Trump got in, it just went downhill. I'm just reading here. Oh, this was worldwide too, by the way, as far as democracy. A bad year. Because you figure there's how many autocracies overseas, tyrants. I'm reading here, there's a study called Freedom in the World 2021 report by Sarah Rapucci and Amy Slipowitz, I believe her name is, Slipowitz. They conducted this study. And they state that incumbent leaders increasingly use force to crush opponents and settle scores, sometimes in the name of public health, while beleaguered activists lacking effective international support faced heavy jail sentences, torture, or murder in many settings. And that's the truth. I'm sure a lot of them will look at the United States. Well, guess what? We had a dumbass that was elected, Donald Trump. And he wasn't for freedom. He wasn't for democracy. Unless that freedom that he was for the freedom to discriminate, which is what he was in favor of when you think about it. You know, right off the bat when he got into office, let's ban the Muslims from coming over. And that reminds me, too, now, of course, he made a reference to the pandemic. That's the China virus, you know? And it was said in such a way, condescendingly, I might add. So, we're dealing now with Asians that are being abused and attacked, downright attacked. And as our president said the other day, this should not be. This has to stop. But I blame a lot of this on Donald Trump. When he was in office, he stirred a lot of this discrimination up. And when you infuse stuff like this into a society, even after he left office, it's still there. It's still brewing. I mean, you have your extremists, like the Proud Boys and all these other people. And something has to be done about that. Thank God we have a new Attorney General now. Thank God he was appointed. Uh, once you go, what the hell? Is it Garland? I'll tell you what. I'm going to look it up. I tell you, don't get old. Huh. Um, let me see here. Hang on just a second. And we'll find out what it is here. Merrick Garland. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I had a brain fart. Oh, brother. John, I know what you go through. John Britterville, I know what you go through sometimes. It just slips you. I'm glad he got sworn in as Attorney General, and I'm going to tell you something. I was impressed with his speech. He's going to get to the bottom of a lot of stuff. And all these people that attacked the Capitol, I think my understanding is they have over 300 people already that have been, I'm not sure if they're indicted or accused or whatever. And we're going to get to the bottom of it, you know? So, that's basically all I have right here for tonight, but I tell you, I think we have a future to look forward to, people. You know? I'm so grateful that Donald Trump was not reelected. I could not imagine what our world would be like today. Could not imagine it. Just fiddling around here with my pages. I like to X everything out, then I know I'm done with it. But I look forward to a bright future. Like I said, I don't know how many years I'm going to have left. You know, I'm going to be turning 65 March 16th. I can't believe it. Got a birthday card from my sister yesterday, and she welcomed me to the world of 65. Well, time marches on. We don't have any control over that, but I tell you what, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I'm still living year by year. Another year I made it around the sun. And my favorite season's coming up, spring, so got to hear my first robin sing for the year today, and I put that up on my YouTube channel if you want to listen to it. It's a little over a minute and 1 second, but to me, makes me happy. You know, when spring comes. Oh, and that's another thing I wanted to mention, too. Remember how I said I was, looked like I was half asleep all the time? Well, I'll take my glasses off here. You can see my face isn't, or my eyes are not as puffy and swollen and wrinkled or whatever. I went up to the eye doctor the other day. I was going to wait for another week or two, and I thought, yeah, I better go up. Pardon me. And I went up to the eye specialist. They did my cataract surgeries and everything. And found out that I was allergic to one of the drops that he was giving me. So what he did was he told me to stop taking the drop that he suspects that I'm allergic to. And he gave me this other drop to get rid of the inflammation and the swelling. I tell you what, I was going nuts. I felt like pulling my eyelashes off, or my eyelids. I mean, it was just, I was just rubbing them. But we got that taken care of so far. I have to put them in I have to put the new drop in 3 times a day. I have about a 17-day supply, and then I have to go up on the 25th and have them examine my eyes again. So I have to take the other drop to keep my eye pressure down, you know, as far as glaucoma. But anyway, that's why if I looked like hell and looked like I was half asleep, I wasn't half asleep. I was just puffy and swollen. It was so bad, it would look like my skin was like wrinkled, and oh my God, made me look like I was 70. I'm not 70 yet. We're not going to rush it. But anyway, I'm just uh, dilly-dallying here and just rambling on. But once in a while, I may share a little bit of personal stuff about me, and I really appreciate all of you taking the time to listen to my rants. I may not be as exciting as some people, you know. We all have different personalities, and I'm grateful for that. I mean, once in a while, I could probably get angry, and but I figure this way: why get overly upset? It's not worth it. We finally have something good to look forward to, something positive. We have a wonderful president, and we have a 50-50, kind of like a majority in the Congress. That's why when 2022 comes, I was listening to a discussion today. They were talking about the Democrats have to be careful because there's a few seats in the Senate that could easily be taken over by Republicans. People, we can't let the Republican Party take over these seats, and I can't stress it enough. Get out and vote. Get your friends to vote. Register them. Make sure you get people to vote Democrats. Stress that. Because if you get Republicans back in there, you're going to only go backwards again. I made a note here that the Republican Party is the party of no, obstruction, and I added destruction. They are. They don't know anything else. The Republican Party of today was not the Republican Party of years ago. And I wasn't crazy about the Republican Party of years ago either. I don't consider myself a conservative. I'd say I'm middle to liberal. Liberal to slightly liberal. I mean, I'm mostly liberal in a lot of social issues. But I just no way I care for conservatism on a whole. You know, the Democratic Party is the party of progression. We need to keep that in mind and keep going forward. If we go backwards, it's like that saying, you know, what you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You know, we got to keep going forward, people. Got to keep believing in science. It's because it's of science that we're at the point and where we're at now. And by the way, Donald Trump did not have anything to do with what's going on with we're getting the numbers down. No way. Although I can say that some red states would love, well, they're already doing it, Texas and Mississippi, getting rid of, oh, right now, I guess it's okay. We don't need to wear masks anymore. And hell, I remember watching CNN, right, in one of the bars in Texas, boy, they were out in the morning. It wasn't even effect yet. They went to the bars and having a good time, no masks, and laughing and carrying on. And I'm afraid it's going to bite them in the ass later on. 2 weeks' time. Give them 2 weeks. Because that's when the virus will take to it till it starts doing its damage. You know? This will be the worst time to do what they're doing. We don't want to go backwards. You have another surge, and if we get another variant this time, that could really cause problems, even to people that are vaccinated. People have got to think. Well, anyway, I'm rambling on here. Thanks for taking the time to listen. Just remember, be very careful. Be safe out there. Always wear your mask. And like my one friend, John Birdabo, says, stay away from nasty-ass people. Wash your hands frequently. You should at least wash them for 22 seconds. Wouldn't even hurt if it's a little more. Make sure that your hands are cleaned and use hand sanitizer, you know. Disinfect your doorknobs, things of that nature. And get your vaccination. If you haven't done so already, get your vaccination. That's very important. As soon as I can, I'm going to get on the appointment list as soon as I can. It's very hard right now. I know Pennsylvania is always behind. But hopefully we'll get to some semblance of normalcy. Normalcy. I like to go out to restaurants and eat, like, diners and stuff. I haven't gone out. God, this is the second year now. So I miss it. I mean, I'm eating healthier, but I miss it. All right, well, listen, you have a good rest of the weekend, and I'll be talking to you sometime next weekend. You take care, and catch you later. Bye-bye now.